Happy Halloween, everybody. It's Eduardo Jackson, creator, founder, and CEO of Cinema Draft, the game, your weekend obsession, here with you to discuss the weekend box office and our results in the Cinema Draft game. It has been a very scary, spooky Monday on this Halloween. We've had some issues with the scoring system and the results. A lot of stuff had to be done behind the scenes manually that may not be reflected in your current scores, but just trust, we have it all taken together on this page by the time we publish it. This is the official tournament results, so make sure you check out here. We had some scoring issues with the Handmaiden. It was not listed in your score, reflected in your score, so we manually added it. Same thing with certain women. It did not actually reflect in your score, so I manually adjusted it. So all prize winning points and places are listed here. This will be published on our blog at medium.com/@cinemadraft, and there will be links and things spread about social media to let you know that the final results are in. So let's take a look at the box office first to make some sense out of it. Well, in probably the surprise of the season, if not the year so far, boo! A Medea Halloween took first place once again with only a 40% drop. That's an excellent hold. He held 60%, nearly 60% of his audience and grosses the previous weekend. Tyler Perry just on fire. Something that Inferno cannot say. Stumbling, bumbling, to a 14.9 million opening, which has to be, that defied even the lowest expectations. And I guess that means that I'm not sure if I won a bet or lost a bet, but it did not reach 30 million like I thought it would. It definitely defied the odds. I know I was real heavy on getting two headliners from Inferno on your call sheet, and let's just say that expect some drastic and dramatic price cuts on the salary values for the talent pool that should be out tomorrow, which is Tuesday. Jack Reacher plunged 60% in its second week. Not necessarily unexpected, considering how I didn't think word of mouth would exactly help it. The Accountant dipped another 38% in its third weekend, so it's not too bad. It's grossed about 61 million. It's already made back its budget. Once you include P&A, that's prints and advertising, it has an outside shot at breaking even. It's probably going to P&A is probably, on average for most movies, about 60 million, 40 to 60 million. If you split the difference, say it's 50 million, then it needs to reach about 90 million just to break even. And quite honestly, the studios only take about 55% of the box office, little known Hollywood secret. So it's got a ways to make its money back. Hopefully it's doing well in foreign markets. Ouija, Origin Evil, 7 million, playing off the Hollywood theme. It's probably going to start running out of gas in a couple weeks. Girl on the Train, it's kind of starting, chugging along, kind of slowly, but it's fine. 4.4 million is not too bad for its fourth week. Miss Peregrine's doing its thing. It's probably got an outside shot at 100 million if it stays out for another 4 or 5 weeks. Keep Up with the Joneses just continues to stumble. 10 million. I'd love to know what the budget was on that. I mean, it doesn't seem like it was too high tech, and they did shoot in Atlanta. Georgia is known for having some pretty sweet film credits. So they probably could have gotten the whole thing in for under 35 million, but I don't know if it's going to make that much. I mean, look at it. Storks just hanging around, doing its thing, about to break even on its budget. And the hero of the weekend, cracking the top 10 on just 302 screens, a whopping 7,252 screen average, which I believe is the second highest average of releases. Oh, I'm sorry, Moonlight still did his thing, but still had a really, really excellent debut for 2.2 million. Is Aidil Hai Mushkil. It's one starring the foreign Miss World, Ashwarya something. But anyways, it came out. And the Indian community definitely supported it. People who love Bollywood supported it. People who love Indian and foreign films supported it, to the tune of 10th place. And you will see that this was the difference maker this weekend. This was the movie that if you had large shares of it, you probably made some money this weekend. If you had any shares, you probably made some money this weekend. If you had too many shares of Inferno, it was not looking good for you. All right, so let's take a look at some results. This is the screen you see when you sign in. Go to completed to check out all the completed contests. And we're going to focus on the feature presentation for now. It's our signature event. We have double the prize pool this weekend or last weekend, 180 up top. And our winner this week is brand new member. Welcome to the fold. Waiting. Steel card 30. There we go. Boat race the competition, our first genuine, legitimate blowout. Outpaced everyone by over 60 points. My goodness, steel card 30, brand new member of the Simdraft community. Well done. And so let's see what made up his call sheet. So he, just to hedge his bets, he had one Inferno and didn't even headliner it. Wow, no respect. Just went with a straight up normal Inferno, no headliner. Fausto Maria Schiapia, whatever. And then he's the one who just did pretty much almost a full stack of Ideal High Mushkil. If he didn't hedge his Inferno, he probably could have gotten away with it. I mean, look at this thing. He's got 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of the 10 actors. A full stack would have been 8, because as you know, you must have one of each of the 2 other release types. So he had almost a full stack of 8, a 7 pack of Ideal High Mushkil. I mean, just it's so affordable. Pretty much hanging around 7,000, $6,000 salaries, and he just stacked it up. He either had some really good intel or just made a high variance play, but it paid off because, as you can see, this baby came in. I mean, if you had a headliner, look at this, damn near 30 points for Ron Beer and our girl Ashwarya, nearly 30 points for our headliners, and still a whopping 21.35, 21.4 essentially for the other players, for the other actors. My goodness, just stacking that up is what really set him apart. And essentially just kind of found some filler. Storks isn't too bad, but I mean, were you picking it over Sully? I guess he did. He was right too. 7.79 points. And then also, his token wide release. Kind of hard to say that on a weekend where it opens wide, but his token wide release was Inferno. So he bet big, huge actually, on. Oh, and I'm sorry. And of course, Boo, a Medea Halloween headliner, Bella Thorne, is also what really brought home the bacon. And I'm just gonna have to adjust his price. I mean, I haven't done the talent pool yet. It's coming. I'll be up all night working on it. But Boo is gonna start getting the respect it deserves. It had another strong week. Now, what it does against Doctor Strange next weekend, I don't know. But we're gonna start respecting Tyler Perry's box office a little and have to bump up that price. So well done, Steel Card 30. He won that one, and I believe he also won the background talent, our 10-person tournament. So congrats again. Well done. Good job. A mainstay at the top of these lists, Kelly, in her second week of playing, has another strong call sheet and just delivers. I'm really impressed with Kelly. For those who are keeping score at home, Kelly actually is Jaybird's wife. A family that plays Cinema Draft stays Cinema Draft, or that's family that plays Cinema Draft together stays forever, or something like that. Anyways, she's really showing her box office chops. We might need to get her on the podcast. She'll come on because I'm really impressed. Second week in a row, brand new to the game, just comes out guns blazing. She has her share of Ideal High Mushkil. She's got some I'm Not Ashamed, not a bad play in the limited release range, especially if you do headliner. Because limited release, I mean, it seemed like there was a lot to pick from, but it seems like some of the ones we thought would do well, like the Magnificent Seven, didn't really do that well once it dipped down below 2,000 screens. And then she hedged her bets with Inferno. She headliner stacked Inferno, and then basically had enough over to do 2 of I'm Not Ashamed. I mean, it's not exactly a punt play, but it's a nice strategic calculation. On any other weekend where Steel Card doesn't just lap the field, she probably wins the call sheet like this. Well done, Kelly. Like your call sheet? Like your call sheet? Like the consistency. Well done. Oh, what do we have here? Who is in third but your boy, Cinemadraft Swag, aka CD Swag, Eduardo Jackson, creator, CEO of the game. My first top three! Yes! I'm in there. Top three. And so how did I do it? Well, I headliner stacked Inferno as per my prediction on the podcast. I definitely want some exposure to Ideal High Mushkil. I also but I was going heavy on Moonlight. I got my headliners. I got three other actors around it. So a little 5-pack here of Moonlight is about as much as I can afford. I punted with American Pastoral, pretty much, was just filler. And then also pretty much for the price, I punted with Magnificent Seven. And just to give you an idea of my call sheet construction, I started off with 2 Infernos, so I took up almost half my budget, and I tried to figure out how many Moonlights I can fit in. And I basically did that, making sure to get my headliners, of course, do that 40% point bonus. And then I punted in for American Pastoral and Magnificent Seven. This isn't what you call a stars and scrubs lineup per se, but this is a very highly concentrated. I was basically riding with one horse. My one horse was Moonlight, and can we blame you? I mean, Moonlight. We really thought it was going to break out a little bit more than it did. I mean, it expanded to 36 screens. I mean, there's no way it could have repeated its opening week with $402,000 per screen. But Moonlight still turned in a pretty hefty, a pretty hefty 23. Where did you go, Moonlight? Oh, here it is, $23,614 per screen average, which by far outpaced the rest of the field for a little over $850,000 at the box office. I mean, platform release, that's still pretty good. That's still good for almost 9 points each. So, it wasn't quite it wasn't quite Ideal High Mushkil. Didn't quite crack a million, but still Moonlight got you some points. So that was my strategy, and it paid off for my first third in the feature presentation. Thank you, guys. Thank you. I'm so glad to be here. Gambled 24/7. Returned also to the top 5, and James Lear, I believe our friend over at Lineup Lab. Glad to have you. Thanks for playing our game. He had shares of Boo Medea, Medea Halloween, which was smart. It's just the Handmaid and some other places where he stumbled someone. Actually, now I think about it, this is a good example of how our scoring system was messing up for us a little bit. Actually, it turns out that James Lear has about 9.22 points unaccounted for, which we add on this sheet right here. Give you an idea. So he is still 5th, for $45, but we did add those points that were missing from the Handmaiden, which was on his call sheet. So that's our bad. Hopefully we'll get it squared away this week. Last time's champion, BTTF, who swept 4 of the 5 contests the last time we played this game 2 weeks ago, who swept all 4 contests that he entered and he won. He came in a respectable 6th. Good job to you. He's also missing some Handmaiden points, but otherwise, he also bet pretty big on Moonlight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Moonlights. All right, you got a Moonlight 6-pack wrapped around a headliner stack of Inferno and punted with the Handmaiden and Magnificent Seven. It's a decent amount of headline. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 headliners in his call sheet, so that was pretty solid. Nice attempt. Nice try. Sorry I didn't get it this week, but you can't win every week, BTTF. You already won enough. We'll see you back this weekend. What other call sheets we're looking? Oh, I'd like to also take this time to mention that if you're noticing the absence of one J Devlin, that is because we had one of our more highly visible and regrettable call sheet or theater count lock tragedies or casualties, as you say, whereas Jay Devlin's call sheet reportedly was good up until Theater Lock, and then after Theater Lock, in which several movies shifted release types, it was made invalid, and he didn't get a chance to rectify that. We deeply apologize for that, Jay Devlin. Unfortunately, with Dems the breaks, make sure this is a sharp reminder for everyone who's playing the game that just if you can give a once over of your call sheet after 6. If there are any if there are any movies on there that you think might jump, release types or not. It's a bit of a cautionary tale, if you were. That you need to make sure that your call sheets are valid, that you have at least one actor from all three release types, 10 actors, no more, no less, and standard budget. And that way your call sheet will be valid. So sorry we missed you, Jay Devlin, Mr. Spark, and Verve. Hopefully we'll speak to you on the hour-long pod tomorrow night when we tape. So, and let's see, and my mom bringing up the rear. Okay, let's take a look and see what mom did wrong. Claudette Jackson's live call sheet. So she went with Inferno, which is how a lot of us started. She also got suckered like did we all. And it looks like she basically just went heavy on American Pastoral. Not sure what what thinking was there, Mom. It's priced this way for a reason. 5,500. It hasn't been performing even on limited screens. And guess what? It didn't perform now. I think it made only, what did American Pastoral make? About 124,000 over 50 screens. Pocket change. So sorry, Mom, didn't quite make it on American Pastoral. Some Deepwater Horizon, which although I thoroughly enjoyed it, it's in its fourth or fifth weekend. It's not going to give you the results you want. Sully, surprisingly, it has dropped down to limited release. Did fairly poorly. Did less than we thought it would. Only 1.88 points. So I guess that movie's finally run out of steam. And yeah, that's pretty much all we can say about this call sheet. Let's take a look at some of the other contests real quick. Take a look at some of the winners. Just to give you an idea of how things shook out. And the best boy, some familiar faces, I'm sure. I do believe. Oh, looky here, I won again. How about that? And actually, it doesn't even account for about 4.61 points that are missing from my handmaiden. So, yay me. Kelly, once again, in her strategies, used the same call sheet across all her contests. And if you got a good one, that works very well. So she gets second in this one. Gamble 24/7. Bringing up third. And once again, some more familiar faces. The Hebrew Hammer. Yes, another unfortunate theater lock casualty of the feature presentation. But good to see you. Make the money here in 11th place, 90.64 points. And so some really interesting calls. Oh, and actually, just to go over real quick, my strategy on this call sheet, since I have your rapt attention, this one was more of a balanced approach, in which I did do my headliner stack of Inferno, but I wanted more I knew I wanted more Dill, High, Mushkil. I just couldn't figure out how to get as much of that along with Moonlight into my call sheet. So as you can see, anyone who had Dill, Mushkil is almost starting with 30 points. So that was the movie that won you the money this weekend. So that's pretty much it for our weekend review and wrap up. Just make sure to go to medium.com/@cinemadraft to take a look at all of the adjusted scores and presentations. I will now be going to add the money to your balances, and make sure you scroll down to the bottom if you don't know how to cash out, to find out how to cash out. It's real simple. You basically go to settings, click that little dollar thing right there, and they'll send you a form to fill out that goes directly to corporate. So we will have the talent pool up probably by the time most of you guys hear or listen to this Tuesday morning. Make sure to tell a friend if you're having fun enjoying playing this game, winning free money. Tell them to go to cinemadraft.co. It is free to play. We will be running more free rolls next weekend. You can find us on all of our social media. This one right here is a little broken right now. We are actually on Instagram at Play Cinema Draft for now. And also subscribe to us on iTunes. Rate us. Let us know what you think. Tell people about it. Let's get up the rankings a little bit. Let's have some more people discovering this great game and, dare I say it, podcast. That's it for now. Thanks for your time, and look forward to seeing you out there in the feature presentation.